It always feels like a new day. Rockin' JK, rockin' JK, rockin' JK.
They are cool and casual and know a thing or two about how to get attention. But it's a drive to succeed that sets them apart.
Text it in your cell phone. A Minnesota company, we're about to be well known.
You guys seem to make a good team.
Yeah, we feed off each other. Like, the fire is just crazy.
Kyle Weber and Travis Jerome are co-founders of Just Kidding Clothing.
Well, my name's Travis Jerome. I'm 23. I'm one of the owners of Just Kidding Clothing.
My name is Kyle Weber. I'm also 23 and I'm one of the owners of Just Kidding Clothing.
They also spread their entrepreneurial spirit through schools across the Midwest.
But if you can train yourself to think outside of the box and think different from everybody else, you'll be able to come up with these ideas that no one else has ever thought of. Because everybody knows, like, everything's saturated. You know how hard it is to invent something these days?
Travis and Kyle have been best friends since grade school. They've always wanted to write the rules, not follow them.
We were in 3rd grade. Me and him met at Lake Elm Elementary School, became partners in crime ever since.
After graduating from high school, they weren't sure what was next until Travis called Kyle to ask an important question.
You want to move to Florida on Tuesday?
John, give me 1 second. I'm making a life decision right now. Yeah, I'm moving to Florida, dude. Isn't that cool?
Literally, that's what we did. We packed up a week later and just moved to Florida. Imagine, what would your parents say if you came home and told them you're moving to Florida next week?
The two headed south with no real plan. They found one in the form of a cooler scooter.
We looked at each other and like, tomorrow we're selling all these cooler scooters, and that's what we did. Like, the next day we started selling on eBay, sold a couple franchises and stuff, and we literally wanted to do this.
Do we really want to be the 40-year-old cooler scooter rental guys?
So Kyle suggested a clothing company. Travis wasn't convinced.
Travis, let's start a clothing company. That was his face right there.
They've told the story of how Just Kidding came to be many times before. This time in front of a camera from the back of a pickup for shoppers to see on the website. It explains the whole just kidding but seriously thing.
Just kidding is what people say, but in the back of the head when they say that, they want to say but seriously. I wanted people to think about our logo and also talk to somebody else about it. So I created it so it looks sort of like a JK if a person would look at it, but at the same time, like, what is that?
There's a very limited stock of each shirt, and when they're gone, they are SOF, sold out forever. They say it's a way to make customers feel exclusive. It's the same line of thinking behind their method of delivery. Any order you place comes in a pizza box.
Like, why don't we think outside the box and essentially make something that's going to make them talk about us? So the pizza box was just, I thought about a t-shirt inside of like a 14 by 14 inch box, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, pizza comes in like a 12 inch or 14 inch box, why don't we do that?
It certainly wasn't easy money from the get-go for these guys. When they moved back to Minnesota to get started, they took odd jobs. They worked for almost a year on their company and invested nearly $30,000 before they made any money at all. Until finally, they got a little attention from the media.
Halloween night, we had a KARE 11 news special. You know, it aired at 10:15 at night. By 11 o'clock at night, we did over $3,000 in sales in 45 minutes. Think about that. We went from $25 in 8 months to $3,000 in 45 minutes, and then another $3,000 the next day.
They started to speak in schools to convince other kids it's okay to be different. You don't have to follow the typical path. And they encourage kids to capitalize on their ideas.
We say, don't wait for the window of opportunity, break through the wall.
Their talks led to founding a nonprofit called True Story Tour, inspiration for youth by youth. They bought a motorhome and will take their tour to schools across the country next year.
Once you hit that roadblock, if you can figure out a way to break through it or take it one step farther and think about how to problem solve it, you can get there. Because 99% of people are going to stop, and you got to be that 1% that doesn't.
What do you want kids to take away from this?
Passion. Everything about it. Everything that we do is off the idea and based off of passion. Because if you don't see it through us, then we're not doing our job right, obviously. But the thing is, passion is what drives us.
I thought they are one of the most inspiring and motivational people I've met. They actually came to my classroom last year, and I just think it's a lot easier to relate to them.
Inspiring. Motivating. I love it, and they do it with a passion, and that helps me more want to do it with a passion too.
We bring such a good message. I think it's important for as many people to hear it as possible. So we want to be the biggest youth motivating company or organization in the U.S.
They will use technology to motivate in a new way by hosting what's called a link up each month. Even if they can't be there in person, they'll be online, connecting teens with the services they need to get their ideas off the ground.
It helps bring people together. And T-Mobile's been a big help for that, and they're helping us bring people in and sponsoring it as a whole. So
beyond giving back to students, Kyle and Travis decided to do something a bit radical with the money they do make. They donate 25% of their profits to Minnesota charities.
Again, we thought about it and we're like, well, when you become successful, that's when most companies will start giving. We're like, well, why don't we do that as we become successful?
The guys admit they have a long way to go. They're certainly not making millions, but customers come first in their eyes. There isn't a comment or email they don't reply to. They pride themselves in their approach to PR. For them, it's never been that much about money.
But whatever you do, do it because you love it and you're passionate about it, not just for the dollar bill.
So they will continue their approach to what they consider casual success. You won't see these guys in a suit and tie anytime soon. Just another perk when it's your job to sell t-shirts.
For more information on Life to the Max, go to our website at lifetothemax.tv.